Tubers, tubettes, the ever-widening circle of crazy people. Well, as the title implies, I am going to be leaving the Philippines and returning home to America. So this video is rather bittersweet, to be quite honest with you. I have lived here in the Philippines now going on 5 years without having returned back to the States. And to say that living here has been a transformational experience is an understatement. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, romantically, the list goes on and on. It has been truly just one big, phenomenal rocket ride up. And not that there hasn't been bumps in the road, along with a few flat tires, but that's how life works, right? And I wouldn't trade any one of my experiences here for a different day. I think every single thing that went right and every single thing that's gone wrong has been just part of the learning curve. And I so appreciate the Philippines for what it is, for its people, for its culture, and all of the things. There's no way I could possibly give back to the Philippines what the Philippines has given to me. I have wanted to go back to the States to visit my family and to visit my friends and do some boring stuff on top of that, which is take care of some financial issues, set up some different accounts as far as mail forwarding, take care of some business loose ends, tax stuff, all that kind of jazz. And once that's out of the way, I intend to dedicate myself to just spending quality time, hopefully, with loved ones that I haven't seen for such a long time, and making those connections, making more memories. I intend to fully document it and video it as time allows and my energy level allows. But with my father being in diminishing health, having talked to my sister this morning that he has COVID and may go either way with it, I'm really not clear if I'm going to be going, when I get there, that I'll be saying hello to him or I'll be saying goodbye to him. And so to say that I spent a couple of hours this morning in quite an emotional state, having that information is an understatement. But thank God little May was there, and my brain has processed the information, and I'm good with it, because that's the way life is. It doesn't always go to plan. While I am there, I fully intend to dive right in and see all three of my boys. They've all had their challenges and victories. I have grandbabies that have been born that I've never had an opportunity to hold or kiss or cuddle or spend time with. I'm so proud of my kids that have overcome some of the adversities that they have faced. I've had one that's had to do some time. That's over and done with, and I can't wait to embrace him, and well, I'll just leave it at that. I've had another son that has struggled for the longest time with addiction issues, and for the last 2 years he has been conquering those demons, and I'm super, super proud of that. My youngest is a vagabond, kind of a wanderer, and a little bit like me in my older age. And I think that's great. I think that's the way to get life experience. And so I'm looking so forward to spending time with all three of them, getting caught up, meeting the kids of my kids, and taking a million pictures and making some videos. There are dear friends that are in both states that I can't wait to, sit down and spend time with. And then lastly, the one thing I dread the most is the food challenges. I've been working really hard to try to drop some pounds and had some degree of success with that. And the bad news is that my sister, who I'm going to stay with while I'm in California, it just happens to be the world's best cook. So if I hang out with her for too long, I'll go rolling out of there looking like a butterball turkey. And then there's the proverbial In-N-Out burger that I haven't had. There's the Jewish deli that I need to go in and have the hot pastrami sandwich. And just all these little nicky-nacky things that I've missed and would like to re-experience. So it'll also be an opportunity for me to see really kind of what condition America has transitioned to in the last 5 years. I'm rather fascinated by some of the changes that have happened, and I'd like to see them with my own eyes. It's my desire that I can interview some people living there, and I'm going to keep it under my hat as to who and what and the topics. But I think that if they go half as good as I think they might, it'll provide some entertainment for both of us. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. The trip itself will not be able to begin for at least 3 weeks. I have to purchase the ticket that's going to be happening in the next day or two. I first have to go to immigration and make sure that I've got my ducks in a row. The last time I talked to immigration, I have to purchase the ticket 2 weeks prior to leaving so that I can have the time to acquire what's known as an exit clearance. So there's 2 weeks. And then there's probably going to be another week of getting other things in order here. So I will still be here in the Philippines for at least 3 weeks, possibly 30 days, before it's wheels up and I'm on my way to America, spending time in both California and Nevada. The immigration deal is finally lightening up here, and people are starting to make their plans to come in. And just as they're doing that, of course, I'm making my plans to go out. I've been communicating with a lot of guys that have been following the channel and following other channels and are coming out here and are excited. So hopefully, if you get here within the next 3 weeks or so, and we've been chatting, and you make it here to Little Dumaguete/Valencia, we can still get together and have that proverbial cup of coffee that we've been talking about prior to me leaving and going back home to America. The interesting thing about that whole statement is that when I say that I'm going home to America, home, America is my home country. It's where I was born. It's where I pledge my allegiance to. It's the country that I love. But having lived a life there of kind of being the invisible man, and at least in the latter years of my life, and experiencing what I often referred to as Groundhog Day, it's going to be super to get over there and just get a change of pace, get a change of scenery, see the loved ones that I haven't seen for a while, make some new friends, hopefully meet some people over there that have been following the channel that are still there. Hopefully we'll be able to get together and see each other in person. But I must say that when I say that I'm going home to America, it almost is a misstatement. Because for the last 5 years that I've been here, I have probably lived more in the last 5 years than I did in the first 62 years of my life in America. So I think the proverbial statement that I would like to leave you with is that while it's great to go back to your roots. And it's great to go back and see family and friends. Those family and those friends have all got a life now, especially my kids. They have grown up. They have started their own families. They have gone their own ways. They have, left their father and their mother and got out on their own. And for that, I am eternally grateful that they have grown up to be the people that they are. It hasn't always been easy. It hasn't always been perfect, but I have always been a believer in God's plan. And while there were some very rough times in their lives and in mine, it appears that that has taken a turn to the positive. So I really believe that when I get on the flight 3 or 4 weeks later, the length of the trip has not yet been determined. I'm still working out those details. I'm going to say that when I get on the return flight to come back here to Little Dumageddon and to my little simple house with my little province girlfriend, that's when I'm really going to be returning home. All right, I'll see you next video.